The Pew Research Center says Independence Day is one of the most dangerous days of the year. That's because on average, more than 90,000 people in the U.S. visit emergency departments over July 4th and 5th. Thanks for joining us for this week's Health News You Can Use. I'm Lindsay Stish. This week we're talking about what emergency departments see most over the 4th of July holiday weekend and summer safety. With me today is Dr. Mark Larson, emergency medicine physician at St. Luke's. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So here in the Kansas City area, is the 4th of July weekend usually a busier time for emergency departments? And if so, what kind of injuries do you commonly see?
Yeah, it's a very busy weekend for us. This year, the holiday falls on Sunday, and so it gives us a 3-day weekend on Monday as well. So we'll be busy throughout all of our departments this weekend. We see injuries related to fireworks, heat exposure, alcohol-related injuries will keep us busy throughout the weekend. We are going to be here all weekend long, 24/7. We have 4 acute care hospitals as well as 5 community hospitals throughout the metropolitan area that'll be staffed with board-certified emergency physicians that'll be ready and waiting for you should you need us, although we hope we don't see you.
So speaking about fireworks, what are the most common fireworks injuries you see, and what are some safety tips for people who are handling fireworks?
Yeah, we see a whole range of injuries from fireworks, from something you would think is very benign like sparklers. We see those injuries quite a bit, tend to be more hand injuries, sometimes eye injuries related to children using them. They burn very, very hot. And so what you think is a very safe firework for children can oftentimes be very dangerous. We oftentimes will see somebody with going up to light a firework that they think the wick burnt out and they're going to go in and light it again, and then it will explode, causing eye injuries or sometimes hand injuries. And then some people that will light the firework in their hand and hold on to it to the last second and throw it, and they mistime how long they think that wick is and when that explosion will go off.
Now, we've already seen some extreme temperatures and humidity this summer. What are some tips to stay safe in the heat?
Well, yeah, first off, recognizing those signs that when you are becoming overheated, heat-related illnesses are very, very common, and we see a lot of those in the emergency department. See more of those than actually fireworks-related injuries. Knowing the signs, basically, though, that when you start feeling lightheaded, dizzy, nausea, vomiting, and then confusion, those are kind of the spectrum of symptoms that you will expect to see. Basically, I just make sure people understand what those warning signs are, drinking plenty of water throughout the holiday weekend, making sure you stay hydrated, and taking those breaks to get inside, get a fan on you, get some air conditioning. Alcohol is one of those things that you will drink. It will dehydrate you more. I'm not saying don't drink alcohol through the weekend. I'm saying drink in moderation. It also kind of makes you more relaxed to the point where you don't recognize some of the more subtle warning signs that you are getting overheated.
Okay. Now, a lot of people also like celebrating the holiday on the water, whether that be swimming or boating. What should people keep in mind this summer?
Yeah, I go back to alcohol. With boating accidents, we see a lot of those, especially up in the north area with Smithville Lake and sometimes on the south side of town. But making sure that you're cognizant of people around you, making sure that you do have a designated boater, so that if people are drinking, that you have a sober driver, because we do see ski-related injuries where people will get hit by a boat. Things like that are really devastating and can be extremely dangerous. I also worry about just pools, not necessarily lakes, but pools, and making sure that you keep an eye on those toddlers, especially if people are out there and about and turn for just a moment. You can take your eye off a kid for just a moment that's not able to swim, and they can fall in, and that's all it takes for someone to drown.
So what's your final message today for people who are watching?
Well, first off, just do everything in moderation. Making sure that you're cognizant of some of the symptoms of heat exposure, heat-related illness, making sure that you drink in moderation, stay hydrated, keep an eye on your children, especially around bodies of water, making sure that they don't go unattended even for a few seconds, because that's all it takes for a child to fall into a pool. Know that we're here for you all weekend long. We'll be available at all of our emergency departments in the metropolitan area, as well as all of our 5 community hospitals that are scattered throughout the metropolitan area.
Okay, great. Well, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
If you'd like to learn more about St. Luke's Community Hospitals and see where they're located across the metro, visit stlukeskc.org/community hospitals. You can also stay up to date with all the latest developments on the COVID pandemic and other health news from St. Luke's at stlukeskc.org/news. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time on Health News You Can Use.